right, I am back from the long ride. That was 8 hours, about 500 miles. What I basically did was I went out to I-25 in Denver, headed 4 hours south. When I hit the 4 hour mark, I turned around and drove back home. So that gave me 8 hours in the saddle. I can tell you that with the OEM setup, that would have not been fun. At 2 hours, I would start to hurt with the OEM setup, and by 5-ish hours, 4 to 5 hours, it's more like enduring the ride than enjoying the ride to get where I'm going. So I've always kind of cut my days a little short for that. I did 8 hours, and I probably could have done another 4 or 5, honestly. I wasn't fatigued, my back didn't hurt, my shoulder wasn't sore. It worked out really well, so worth every penny. They're not perfect. I would say the OEM setup, I'd give it a solid 3. Thank you, Honda. With the HeliBars, I would give it a 6 or a 7. It was much more comfortable. I could enjoy the ride. I did. I enjoyed the entire ride. I wasn't like, oh God, let me get this over with anymore. So definitely worth it from that perspective. They're not perfect. The way the HeliBars work is they lift the bars up, they move the bars forward, and then they tilt the bars in. So the actual adjustment you get is not from the bars being moved back, it's from the bars sweeping in on you. I'll try to show an image of that, but the bars get swept in. So what ends up happening is you end up having to turn your wrist out on the handlebar. So you still end up with this like impingement angle there. And I've broken this thing 3 times and shoulder 3 times and dislocated. So lots of breaks on this side, only a few breaks on this side. So when you turn the bars in, it starts to hurt. But I was able to relieve that by rotating my hand outward and covering the brake. It just puts you in a weird position from a braking perspective. So if I had to e-brake, I would have had to turn my wrist in really to get a hold of it. So a little more conservative riding, but I'll tell you, there is no way I would have done that without those risers on there. I've taken 5 to 6 hour rides before, and by that 4 to 5 hour mark, I'm just enduring the ride. I'm trying to get it over. So that's really the big difference. So at the end, worth every penny, can recommend. I might still consider this winter swapping out to the handlebars. I've got a couple of ideas I could use it to fix it, but we'll see. So worth every penny, 130 bucks well spent. They moved the handlebars in, no impact on my ability to tight corner. I went down a little off ramp where I was basically pegged trying to get back out because it was a slow speed on ramp. And I was able to turn it in. It didn't run into my leg, didn't do anything crazy. Bike was under control, so it didn't feel weird at all. So 7 out of 10, would recommend. If you're having problems with comfort where you need to be further back, they solved that problem. Mine was a back hunch after riding for a while, where you're riding the bike like this. I would start to hunch, and then when I could contact the backrest, I would end up like leaning like this to hold the handlebars to try to give my back relief. And with the HeliBars, I no longer have to do that. I'm sitting back where I'm supposed to be. My back is supported. Somebody else made a recommendation that I lower my backrest, helped a ton. I used to have it up high because the backrest is slightly tilted forward. So by having the backrest up high, I brought the backrest forward as far as I could. But now that I'm further back, I could lower the backrest, which allowed me to get it into my lower back and really support me down here, which was amazing. So I got to thank whoever that was. I'll find it in the video and thank that person. So good call there. But would buy, again, absolutely worth it. 130 bucks well spent. I feel like I could have gone another 4 to 5 hours really without a whole lot of problems. I was very comfortable. I was still alert and awake. I was not enduring the ride. I was still looking around and enjoying the ride, listening to music and grooving. So yeah, would recommend. I know I babbled a lot here, but buy them if you're not comfortable.